Hey guys, welcome to the channel and part 2 of Ben Hur. If you missed out on part 1, I'll leave a link up there somewhere to it. Since I'm recording this before watching the movie, I don't know how much I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I am. Anyways, let's get right into it. But before we do, please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon for instant notifications. I really do appreciate it, guys. Ben Hur, part 2. Let's go! Oh, we're back. We are back. I believe there are no more breaks. Wow, look at those details of the tiles.
As you know, I am a coarse gambling man. The games approach.
We know you have good horses, but who is your driver?
Oh, did I not tell you? How careless of me. The Prince of Hur. Judah. Ben Hur.
Oh.
Will you give me 4 to 1?
4 to 1.
Oh man.
1,000 talents.
What does that mean?
Of course, if it is too much.
He's goading him into it.
1,000 talents it will be. Beat them well, they've earned it today.
And he himself, he's so proud of these horses now.
If you defeat Messala and the new governor there to see it, the news will scorch the streets of the whole Roman world.
He doesn't care, he just wants his revenge.
I only know that I race against Messala.
Exactly.
God forgive me for seeking vengeance, but my path is set. Into your hands I commit my life. Do with me as you will.
I mean, this scene must have been a production nightmare. So many animals, and they all have to be choreographed and coordinated. What a shot. The black horses, the famed black horses of the Roman Empire. Even the chariot itself is like so regal.
Look! He is driving a Greek chariot.
Oh! Spikes. They will come into play for sure. Wow. Look at the coordination of these horses and look at the number of extras. The people, they're not paintings, they're actually moving. Did they make it, or is it an existing place which they renovated for the movie? If they mess up this one shot, they have to clean the slate, clean everything and redo it. I don't even know how they're doing it in one shot. There must be several camera crews hidden in the entire frame. That has to be it. Because how many times did they actually do that? I'm actually so glad that the director took so much time in showing us the enormity of the arena. Go! How are they shooting this? How are they keeping the camera this stable? This is incredible. Those must be stuntmen doing that. I mean, I'm more scared for these stunt people than the actual characters. I don't like the way they're whipping the horses, but that's how it was done, so I appreciate the historical authenticity. Oh, what a stunt! Was that a real person? But don't let Messala come too close to him. Oof, ouch. What a shot. I love this POV shot of him overtaking others. Wow. Oh, incredible stunt work. If this was 2022, this would have been all CGI, by the way. Nothing can replicate this. Did Heston do that stunt himself? It really looked like it. Oh no. 2 more laps and they're still neck and neck. Oh. And I notice Ben Hur isn't using a whip. Oh. Messala lost the whip. Oh. He's still hanging on. The crazy... Oh, Oh, he's off. He's almost dead. Ben Hur is victorious. It's more than that. It's symbolic. It's almost like a sense of revenge. Oh, wow. Look at the number of people.
We cannot wait any longer, Tribune. He will come!
The race won. The enemy destroyed.
I see no enemy.
Oh, I see no enemy.
They're not dead.
Oh,
Where are they?
the Valley of the Lepers.
In the valley of the lepers.
Oh,
If you can recognize them.
was he teasing him in his final act? Like, I made your family lepers? Or is it more like a final act of redemption? Yeah, I think it was mocking him. Look at Charlton Heston, man. I love the Planet of the Apes, but this has to be his best performance. Holy crap. This has to be the leper colony, and this is how they lower food for them. Ah, damn. But again, the most impressive part of this is the set. Looks like he didn't expect her.
Why did you tell me they were dead?
It was what they wanted. Is Judah well? Is he happy?
Oh, look at him. He's almost like a broken man. It's Jesus. We're finally coming back to the Jesus story.
I'm thirsty still.
Come and listen.
I've business with Rome.
Again, we're not seeing his face, but we see his silhouette. I actually appreciate the fact that Jesus is being kept ambiguous.
You have been made a citizen of Rome.
Oh, he's going to reject the citizenship.
Perfect freedom has no existence. The grown man knows the world he lives in.
He's essentially telling him to move on.
Even for the sake of Arius, I cannot protect you from personal disaster if you stay here.
Well, it's not like he didn't warn Ben Hur.
I was afraid you would never come back.
His voice traveled with such a still purpose. It was more than a voice. He said, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy."
It is something he said.
But the voice I heard today on the hill said, "Love your enemy. Do good to those who despitefully use you. Hatred is turning you to stone. It's as though you had become Messiah."
Come on, Judah. Come to the realization that hate will not get you anywhere.
Leave the food and go. It's Judah.
Oh, man. Oh. He's here.
Judah, if they would see Jesus of Nazareth, they will know that life is everlasting.
What a performance from Charlton Heston. You can see the pain in his eyes. Oh,
It's Judah.
oh man. She looks horrible.
Whose trial?
The young rabbi from Nazareth.
Oh. Well, looks like Jesus has been tortured. He's already condemned. We didn't get to see the actual trial. I wonder how long it took for this movie to be finished.
I know this man.
He recognizes him. He recognizes him as the man who gave him water all those years ago. That's beautiful. They nailed him to the cross. What a shot. I think Judah is starting to believe.
He gave me water and the heart to live.
He has taken the world of our sins onto himself.
I'm not afraid anymore.
Dude! They're healed! It's a miracle! Oh man, it's a miracle. Ben Hur said he didn't believe in miracles. Well, we have to ask him now. I think he finally found peace.
I heard him say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And I felt his voice take the sword out of my hand.
Which means the hatred in his heart is finally gone. If this doesn't make a believer out of him, I don't know what will. This is a true miracle. And the music reflects that. Shepherd leading his sheep. That's meant to be symbolic, I bet. The end. What an epic movie. It defines the word epic in cinema. Okay, I took quite some time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was an amazing experience. I don't think I've ever seen a film of that scale before that time. I mean, the film still stands up to today. I have no idea why they tried to remake such a classic. Classics should not be touched. They can stand on their own. They can stand the test of time. The strengths of the movie literally included everything from the story, directing, writing, acting, to the cinematography, score, and most importantly, the production design. There are no real weaknesses here. Maybe the length. A lot of shots were held for a long time, and the director did spend time exploring arcs that didn't amount to much. For example, Arius' storyline, but that has a reason. It's for the world building, to show the scale of the production, the size of the world. Furthermore, the length did give the audience time to breathe and take in the scope of the film. Let's start with the directing by William Wyler and the script by Carl Tunberg. From the credits, I saw that it was based on a book of the same name by Lew Wallace, and as I haven't read the novel, I don't know how well it was adapted for screen, but from what I just witnessed, it was amazing. The writer and the director start the film off with Jesus' birth, and that was brilliant because even though Jesus wasn't a central character, his presence could be felt throughout the entire runtime. It was almost like he was the backdrop to the entire story, the benevolent presence whose influence drove a lot of the characters and maybe the story itself to some extent. I also love the fact that he wasn't shown at all, his face I mean, and his image was left to the imagination of the viewing audience. Great creative choice. Ben Hur was shown to be a rich man at the beginning, although his land was conquered by the Romans and his people, I guess. He was soon sent to the galleys on trumped up charges by his friend Messala, and his mother and sister, they're sent to prison. We spent the entire first act seeing the character of Ben Hur being broken down from a rich man to a slave before redeeming himself to become a man of power and importance again. This arc kind of reminded me of films like Spartacus, which I've watched so long ago I don't remember, but I do remember the broad strokes, and Gladiator, which had similar arcs for their protagonists. And funnily enough, I believe both of them were against the Romans. Were the Romans really that bad? That's something to think about. When Ben Hur makes his return by winning the favor from Arius, who he saved from drowning, he comes back to find out that his mother and sister are dead, or so he believes, and he seeks revenge against his former friend, Messala. By the way, the character Arius, played by Jack Hawkins, was fantastic. His performance was great, and even though his role was small, his character had a very well written story arc in the short amount of time he was on screen. The way he adopted Ben Hur and rewarded him and literally made him his son, his heir, really redeemed his character. Anyways, but I did feel like his character was left a little unresolved. We never get to see him again after half the runtime, but that's for another day. Anyways, the way Ben Hur intended to take his revenge was to compete in a chariot race against Messala. Let's talk a little about the famous chariot race. That sequence was among the best 10 minutes of film pure film I've ever seen on screen. The number of extras, to the horses, to the actual set. I don't know whether they built up an existing place or they made the entire thing, but holy crap, I have no idea how the director organized everything. So many different elements had to go perfectly. It must have been a production nightmare, managing so many different things and making it look effortless on screen. That sequence really gave a sense of the scale of the film. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before, and I don't think the viewing audience at that time has ever seen anything like that. The stunt work during the race was just as impressive as the production. Those were real people doing the stunts, falling off the horses, being dragged by them. That's crazy stuff. It's something that modern film companies would not allow anymore, probably because of the risks and insurance companies, but they did it back then, and it's amazing on screen. By the way, did Heston do his own stunts in that scene? Because it did look like it. He clearly learned how to use a chariot, that's for sure. The chariot race ended with the victory of Ben Hur and the death of Miss Salah. I thought the movie would end there, but there was a lot to uncover from that point. One thing I did not understand was the final act of Miss Salah, revealing that Ben Hur's mom and sister were alive and in the Valley of Lepers. Was that kind of an FU to Ben Hur, or was it an act of redemption as he was dying? Do let me know in the comments. I really want to find out. One more subplot involved the character of Esther, played by Haya Harareet. She was also fantastic in her role, but I really felt bad for her character, as all she wanted was to be loved by Ben Hur. She wanted him to be peaceful and just move on with his life, but he was consumed by anger and revenge. Till the last moment. And speaking of Ben Hur, this has to be Charlton Heston's best performance. His career-defining performance. I mean, he was great in The Planet of the Apes, but this was on another level. The commitment from this actor to this role is probably unrivaled. Only a handful of actors like Daniel Day-Lewis or Pacino, or just Brando, I don't know, like just a handful of actors come close to this. He deserved the Oscar for that role. I don't know whether he won or not, but I really hope he did. I am going to be looking it up. Everything from his physical performances to his pitch perfect line delivery to the range of emotions he had to show, it was great. It has to rank among one of the best performances I have ever seen. The film ended with Jesus's crucifixion trial. I don't believe we saw the trial. We just saw the walk to the crucifixion and a miracle. The fact that Ben Hur's mother and sister gets healed. I think that was the only supernatural element of the movie, and I don't know how to feel about that. Hear me out. I mean, it does make sense narratively, but it did take me out a little from the grounded nature of the rest of the movie, if that makes any sense. It is fine though, since Ben Hur does say that he didn't believe in miracles, and in the final frame of the movie, it's that miracle that brings tears to his eyes. Jesus did make a believer out of him at the end. Amazing writing, directing, and performances. The cinematography of the movie, it was equally brilliant, starting with the choice of aspect ratio. It was beyond ultra-wide. I do have an ultra-wide display, and it was even wider than that. And it really helped in creating the illusion of scale of the movie. The night shots were a particular highlight for me, especially how the lighting was done. And I also appreciate the cinematographer and the director. They didn't shy away from the wide landscape shots. The location choices were incredible. They were varied, and most of the movie was shot on location, which was unlike typical Hollywood productions of the time. The budget must have been huge. I wonder whether they actually shot in the Middle East. Do let me know, because it did look like it from the deserts and stuff. The rest of the production was also impeccable. Every single prop, from the swords to the sets, and even the number of extras. The chariot scene must have had at least, what, 5,000, 6,000 people easily. There was no CGI or trickery there. There were real people. They were all moving in the background, even 100 meters away. The ship battle sequence was also out of this world. The pyrotechnics in that scene, the stunt work near the fire, they were superb, and so were the miniatures of the model ships. They looked very convincing, and they had a very unique look. The Roman ships had a very unique look, and I'm not sure what the other side was, but their ships also had a very unique look. I wouldn't be surprised to learn if they were historically accurate. They were clearly so detailed and a labor of love. The score of the movie was another highlight for me. The main motif is still playing in my head. It's so memorable, and I can't imagine the challenge of scoring a film of this length with original music. It must have been a huge undertaking from the composer. I have to look him up, by the way. The sound design was also stellar, especially during the chariot sequence and the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, the wailing of the people. It was pretty horrifying and so well done. Great stuff overall. The only minor criticism I had was with the length of the movie. Again, it's extremely minor, but I did have to look at the clock every once in a while to see where we were in the story. I do see a reasoning for it, for the world building and providing the audience to take it all in. But apart from that one little thing, overall, Ben Hur was the definition of an epic. If you look up the definition of an epic in the dictionary, Ben Hur should be there. If it isn't, we should include it. William Wyler's masterful directing was complemented by the writing and excellent performances from Charlton Heston, Haya Harareet, Jack Hawkins, and the rest of the amazing cast. I loved the story, the redemption arc, the revenge arc, but most importantly, I loved the scale of the film, the ambition of this director, and the production end of things, which had to be one of the best, if not the best, I've seen from a film till that date. This movie aged so well that I would consider this essential viewing for any film lover. Thank you so much for the recommendation, guys. And thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a Patreon. Subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.